What's going on? What's going on to all my embracers? I wanted to get started already. So let me go ahead and cam up. How you guys doing today? I hope y'all doing well. I hope y'all had a good night, a good day. And we're gonna get right into it because this is a good topic. I got a little anxious, I want to get to it. There's a good football game going on, and want to starting to talk about this. So this topic came to me. Someone brought it to my attention, and I thought that it was necessary to talk about. So first, let me introduce myself to all my new embracers, to all my regular embracers. I do hope that you guys don't forget to press the like button. And don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Come on the panel and all of that, because we here have the uncomfortable conversations. We here treat each other with respect, and we like to hear different perspectives. We like to hear different people's experiences so we can all learn from each other. That's the whole point. So we can all become better versions of ourselves, because we grow with the things that we go through. We don't look at it as a loss. Look at it as a lesson. And trust me, guys, I had to learn that too. So a lot of things that I come up here and talk about is not because I just pulled it out of a hat. It's because I've been through it too. People around me are going through it. We all going through it. But with that being said, you can find me here every Thursday night on the JVJ Network and Embrace the Grace, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp, all over. My email is in my bio. My IG is in my bio. You want to reach out to me. You want to give me content, emails. Keep them coming, because they're great. I love it. I absolutely love it, because you guys be sending me some good stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to bring up my co-host. Been rocking with me for a minute now. My other co-host had, unfortunately, an emergency, and he won't be here tonight. But my dog Smitty is always here, and I appreciate it. Smitty, how you doing tonight? You there? He's probably walked away to go get him some Kool-Aid, because he always got to have his Kool-Aid next to him with when the show begins. But you know, we'll start looking at other things and talking about it. So what's tonight's topic? Tonight's topic is about judging a book by its cover. And I'm not literally talking about a book. I'm talking about people. Judging people by their outside appearance, by how they act. Is that really them? Or is it a persona? Or is that our perception? Because a lot of times we're off. The perfect example is how people are viewed on how to or how police officers are viewed to see the melanated community. And we're going to talk about it, but Smitty's here now. I told you he had to go get his Kool-Aid. So Smitty, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people where we can find you. I know you got that Kool-Aid. That Kool-Aid smile too.
All right. Respect. All right. As always, it's your boy Smitty. You can definitely catch me over here, rocking out with my girl Grace every Thursday. If you like, you can go check out Smitty's Corner. Just type in Smitty's Corner. And definitely, as always, you can catch me anywhere that there's peace and solitude. I digress. My mic is muted. Let's rock out.
All right, Smitty. So this topic was brought to me by somebody that I have very high regard and respect to. And they said, you know, talk about this. This is something that can go south or it can be good. And we're going to talk both ends of it, because when I say judging a book by its cover, Smitty, I'm not literally talking about a book. I'm talking about how we perceive people, how we automatically have a perception or judgment of a person off of things that we may see, things that we may hear, things that situational. I mean, let's start this off, Smitty. Give me a time where a person who didn't even know you passed judgment on you and was totally off base.
I don't even know where to start with that.
Give me
Sheesh.
one that's really
I
like
don't-
embedded in you, like your go-to one. Like I
Um,
remember.
I would say I remember this one time. It was this. It was this chick I wanted to date, and anybody who knows me knows that, like, you know, I can come off at times and sound abrasive. I get that. I get that. But like, she like, I mean, bombshelled me with so much like, so how many women you beat on? And she even went to the lengths of, which I mean, I don't mind. I mean, whatever. Um, Looking up record and everything because she had it in her mind that I was like this, I guess, like woman hater, trying to be rough and tough with everybody. And whole T, I can't stress it enough. I'm probably one of the most laid back dudes you'll ever come across. It's just
Lady, hold on a
I
second. I
can't
gotta
say
get
that.
up. I got chicken in the oven and I'm smelling it. So hold on. Keep talking, but I'm just letting you know I'm getting up, okay?
Yeah, nah, you got it. Rock out. But yeah, I would say that that would definitely have been the time in regards to that. And I've had that with, I mean, honestly, I would say that's the number one thing that overall I think people get twisted with me, period, is um, he's angry or who hurt you or whatever. And it's like, nah, I just, only thing I can say is passion runs deep. And I'm definitely one of those people when I'm like really heartfelt into something that I'm uh, speaking about, advocating, or whatever it may be, I go all in. And I can understand in this society nowadays with people being so, sensitive to words and sounds and everything else, um, that it can't come off that way to some people. So I've just been working on to myself a little bit just so I don't have too much confusion because I just get tired of explaining this shit all the time. So, I figure I just fall back a little bit. Plus, that's just my way of always checking myself first. I start looking at anybody else saying, nah, this is just me, take it or leave it. So, other than that, I digress. My mic is muted.
Okay. I mean, we all go through that. I mean, the fact that this female automatically assumed that you were beating on women is like, what
Yeah.
about you came off for her to even fathom that thought and then turn around and voice it without even knowing you? Did she hear something? Did she believe a rumor?
No, we was only talking on the phone for I met her on one of those goofy ass dating apps. Yeah, and I tried that before. Like most of us. God damn it! I'm sorry. Nah, phone call was. Can you still hear me?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
making sure. Nah, the phone just. Anyway, I tried that little app. Them dating apps and stuff. Hopped on one of those. And oh goodness gracious, man, the insanity that you meet on there. But anyway, that's another story. Um, but yeah, I met her on there, and we was just only talking on the phone. And I say we was about kind of a weekend, and then she just busts out of nowhere and was like, you know what? I'm gonna pray for you. And I said, oh shit, here come the cuckoo shit. Here it come. So I'm saying that in my head. I not out loud. I'm like, but in my head, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. What makes you say that? Because I mean, just listening to you talk, I can just hear the pain and the torment just going into your body. And I'm like, what? I'm lost. And it's like the more I kept telling her I'm fine, she's like, no, I understand. That's what you're supposed to say. I know it's a defense mechanism. No, really, listen, shut up. I'm trying to tell you I'm okay. I'm all right.
That's
And
crazy.
no, oh man, yeah, I've gone through that quite a few times because I guess nowadays, and that's why I've spoken about it on my live before on IG Gracie when I was talking about the image of me as in the image of a black man as far as like society really has it to where like if you raise your voice in any form of fashion, regardless of they won't even listen to the context too much. It's just what? Oh, hold on, he's getting loud. You must be hurt. He's angry. He needs therapy. And it's like, why can't, do we not remember how Dr. King sound up on there when he was hitting his fist on the thing and everything else and did it? And you know what I'm saying? He didn't sound calm when he was saying I had a dream speech and so on and so forth. Neither did Malcolm X, Farrakhan, none of these people, nobody of any true strength and leadership talks weak when speaking to the masses. It's just not, I don't even know how to, my voice is even elevated a little bit now, just naturally. I didn't even feel that coming. It just hit, boom, it's here.
And you see, to me, I don't consider you yelling right now, but to some people, they would consider that you're yelling. And it's just, I get that as well. And maybe it's because people from up top, from New York, yes, we tend to be a little bit more aggressive and
the East Coast period. East Coast period.
But I really am not like, okay, I work a lot in customer service and I get accused a lot of being condescending or rude. I know I have a New York accent and it comes out sometimes, but I'm really not. And it's like I have to learn how to choose my words wisely without having to hurt somebody's feelings, because we've become so sensitive nowadays. You know, we want to be so hard but at the same time, we're so sensitive and we have to be so gentle and we have to spoon feed people. That's why they didn't like my beloved Kevin Samuels. I thought he was rude and abrasive too at the beginning. But when I took more time to watch his videos and really understand him, I'm like, no, he's just giving it to people raw. And people say they want the truth. And when they get the truth, they can't handle the truth. So let me tell you about a time I had an issue at work. I was working behind the counter at the deli, and I had a situation with a customer, and she was triggering me, and one of my coworkers put her hands on my shoulder, and she whispered in my ear, "Who you think they're gonna believe? The little old white lady or the loud Puerto Rican from New York?" I'm like, wow. And she was totally wrong. She was in the wrong. She didn't call me racial slurs, was insulting me. But at the end of the day, it's the perception, because I'm from New York. I'm half Dominican, half Sicilian. I'm loud. She whispered in my ear, "Who you think they're going to believe? Her or you?" So that just brought me down. She's like, yeah, she's right. I'm gonna be considered the angry New Yorker, the loud, boisterous, overzealous New Yorker. And
well, see the thing, but see the thing is, Grace, that's so weird about it is how much what has been normalized is something that has, like, never through history of humanity has been something like, basically, if you really truly walk or present yourself in any form of like authoritative manner, it's like almost automatically, it's like who he think he is or who she thinks she is, you know? And the whole time when we talking about perception, the sad part about it is that is a fact though, right? If you're talking about you want most people to look at you a certain way, Grace, we can never control that. And the reason being is because perception is subjective. Perception is not an objective thing. That is case by case. You know, so
right. I was just reading that.
I would say in to that part, that's when the wisdom and the discernment has to kick in. So at that point, I would say again, don't try to carpet the world. Just simply leave your house and wear shoes, right? And for those who don't get exactly, you know what I mean by that, trying to carpet the world meaning stop trying to get everybody to conform and get how you are. When you leave your house, put on shoes and understand that it might be muddy, it might be this, dress for the weather. The weather's not going to conform to you. You got to conform to the weather. If it's hot, what you going to do? You're going to dress accordingly. If it's raining, you're going to get your poncho or umbrella. If it's cold, your coat, so on and so forth, right? So that's all I'm saying when it comes down to like You know, because see, the thing is that to land it, when you adopt that mentality, it really saves you from strife and heartache in the future. When you don't have all these, do you know how I keep my peace? Just to
How?
nutshell it, you know how I keep my peace. I don't have really high expectations for people. I don't expect too much. I don't. I don't expect much. And that by itself, that way, guess what? When somebody does do something that I would consider above and beyond, oh my god, it's like a birthday gift. It is such the most beautiful thing. But for me to keep my sanity and my peace, I don't expect too much. So that way, when shit get to going off, and when shit get to hitting the fan, and people get to acting cuckoo for cocoa puffs out of nowhere, I just sit back and say, "See, I'm good," because I never really invested myself too much in that manner. I may invest myself in other places, but when it comes to that aspect, as far as my inner peace, nobody is going to disturb that. At least not if I can help it, that is. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out, Gracie.
And Smitty, I'm thinking about what you're saying, and being that you and I are birthday twins and we're this two peas in a pod, that was a hard skill to master. And I'm saying that because we are the type of people that we tend to give a lot of benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Because we always looking at the good in people. And the way I keep my peace now and preserve my energy is, one, I match your energy. Okay. And two, I don't entertain everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't deserve a response. No response is a response. Silence is a killer to some people. That's what you want me to do. You want to trigger me. You want to say things to hurt me, to humiliate me, and demean me so I can jump and be Frogger and leap. And then you sit back and be like, yeah, I got her now. Nah, I'm not going to give you that satisfaction, because that for me was a very hard skill. I'm still not a master of it, but I am very mindful of it. I pick and choose situations that I want to deal with. There's certain things I won't deal with. There's certain things I'll compromise with, depending on who it is, what the situation is. I mean, I've been called a user before, and I just laughed when I heard that. I'm like, that is the furthest thing that I am, because I'm the first one up front and ready to help anybody that needs it. I've been called, I'm intimidating, I'm controlling. I mean, I've heard it all, but that's okay, because if you allow people to dictate your emotions and who you are, you have to know who you are. You have to embrace who you are. Until this day, everybody out there listening, I'm still embracing grace every day. I got it on my mirror in my bathroom. And be like, don't just be grace, be amazing grace. Embrace grace. I read that every day when I go to the bathroom, because everybody has that struggle, Smitty.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Absolutely.
To you, because and I would say that's something beautiful and very healthy that you have adopted, that little phrase that you've coined for yourself, embrace the grace, right? To you personally, the embrace part, for you personally, not others to embrace you, what does it mean for you?
For me, it means embrace the healing, embracing a better version of myself and doing better, and recognizing what I did, taking accountability, and and just embracing everything that, a lot of times people tell us, oh, take the L. It is an L, but I've learned that it's not a loss, it's a lesson. You got to embrace you got to sometimes sit back and be like, why did this happen? What am I supposed to learn from it? It won't come right away sometimes, because we get caught up in our emotions. We get caught up in our feelings. But when we sit back and really think about it, sometimes you got to thank that person and be like, thank you. You opened my eyes. I know it would, you know, you're not going to see it while you're going through the storm, Smitty, but embrace the grace to me means embracing me, embracing you, embracing your growth and your progress. You're not the same Smitty that you were 3 months ago. You're not the same that you were 6 months ago. And we got to forget about that Smitty that was 6 months ago, because you're a better version now. And that's the we tend to live in our past. And I'm speaking these words, and these are words that have been told to me. Stop living in your past. That's that old Grace. That's that Grace that lived in Florida. You're not in Florida anymore.
Well, see,
you're
the
in
thing,
DA.
see, the thing is that I think this is why I always go back to balance, right? Okay, this is why I always go back to it. You have to be balanced in that. It's not about living in your past, but I damn sure do from time to time when it's necessary, reflect on it.
Absolutely. It reminds you.
I'm, you know, and I also do not dwell in the future, because I always make sure that I stay present for here. And like I said before, right. And like I said before, the reason why it's called the present, because it's a gift, period. Like, it's a gift to be here right now, this moment, because there's some people, for whatever reason, God bless them, right, that are not. So this is a gift. It is a continuous gift as long as you're here. So as long as you make sure, as long as you cherish that and make sure that you always prepare during the moments. And that's all I wanted to get to. Like, I don't look at it more so as a future. I look at it as a continuous present. It's just a continuous present, right? That's just my mind. And so I'm always calculating for the next present to come. I'm calculating for the next moment. So I'm not even looking 5 years ahead. No, I'm looking at the next day to come. And I'm continuously, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I mean, but you used the good word. And I used to be guilty of this, is dwelling in the past. The past is the past. Right. And a lot of us do that. And we remain in that cesspool of misery because it's like a quicksand, and we just have to get out of it. How do we get out of it? By surrounding ourselves with positive minded people, by going to therapy, by doing the work, and we get out of that cesspool. And it's like a whole, you know, it's a brand new life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, the grass really was greener on the side. We were just watering the wrong side. We kept watering the wrong side. And it's really, it opens up your heart, your mind, and your spirit when you see things differently, when you don't go of your old ways, and you learn to, I think before I speak sometimes when I'm angry, because you know what? I don't want to say things I'll regret, especially if it's a person that I value or a relationship that I value. Because I was venomous. I didn't give a shit. I would hit below the belt, and you know, it was all about me and making you feel and belittle. I'm not like that anymore. And that's why that Embrace the Grace is not only a brand, but it's also what I go through every day. I'm embracing grace every day. I'm trying to become a better version of Grace. What can I do better than what I did from yesterday? How can I tell somebody this in a better way without hurting their feelings? But then sometimes, Smitty, fuck their feelings, because people sometimes, I think, are just too sensitive nowadays. And that comes from this upbringing nowadays. No, you know, you got to talk to Johnny and put him on timeout. No, sometimes Johnny needs an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? But we're so far from that. It's like we've gotten lost in the sauce. But let me
what they've done is they believe it or not, as much as people talk about this woke stuff, people so woke that they actually sleep. Honestly, people so woke they sleep, and basically they have gotten it to the point where, from an emotional standpoint, mental standpoint, the whole nine, even down to physical to a large degree, because we have so many things that's done for us through technology, people are basically, we're real docile now as a society. We're too docile now. And unfortunately, when we want to put that energy into something, right? When we want to get real loud and really start going hard on something, it's usually to shut somebody down who's only speaking on the fact that, hey, y'all, I see something's wrong here. So I'm going to talk about it. Then all of a
Mhm.
sudden, people got the energy to get all out and get bucked.
Yep.
So, we're in a real, but you just got to know how to keep on moving and, bobbing and weaving throughout the whole scenario. That's all.
You're absolutely right. And let's get into the definition. The saying "never judge a book by its cover" or "don't judge a book by its cover" means that you shouldn't judge someone or something based only on what you see on the outside and only what you perceive without knowing the full situation. Okay, I'm going to stop myself on this one. One of the biggest ones that I discuss with young women is the way they dress nowadays. You know, these young girls and even boys are over sexualized more than ever. So things that they wear nowadays to you and me, Smitty, just seems kind of outrageous. I don't know if you saw that clip where the girl, it was online, and the Spirit Airlines had her whole ass was out with no underwears. Is that, I mean, what are we supposed to perceive or think about that person? That they forgot to wear their underwears?
Mm-hmm.
That their top was supposed to be a top and not a dress? I mean, it's really hard sometimes not to judge your books by a cover, because how are you not supposed, you see a young woman, she's beautiful, but she's half naked out in public, but you out
No,
here talking about you want a serious relationship?
nah, bump all of that. Let me just clear this in there. I'm gonna tell you right now, profiling is a real thing. And the fact is that profiling is something we all do. We all do.
Are we
And
wrong
but
for it?
now it may be in different categories, but people damn sure profile. Okay. It's not just like a police to like a suspect thing. No, people in their everyday life profile. And we need to stop acting like that's not something that, like, look, let me just say this. If I was walking down the street and I a knife in my hand and my shirt's bloody and I'm huffing and puffing and my clothes is kind of ripped up, are you wrong if you judge and be like, that nigga just did something? Like, come on, let's just stop it. Now I know that was kind of an extreme example, but I'm just saying, like, the fact is that profiling actually is something that keeps a lot of us safe. You trying to tell me that you have lived as long as you've lived, and there hasn't been a time where you did judge somebody and come to find out you was right,
Yep.
and you were very
Yeah.
thankful that you got up out that situation or whatever. Call it a gut feeling, intuition, whatever you want. Grandma was talking to me, however you want to word it. But profiling is a real thing. So I mean, again, it's all about people that pick and choose what they want to get all up in their stuff about. But I digress. My mic is muted. Lena, respect to you, love.
Hi, Lena. How are you, beautiful?
Hi, Grace. Hey, beautiful. Hi, Smitty. I kind of agree with Smitty, and I just feel like when you judge a book by its cover, you just don't stop judging. Like I feel like it shouldn't be the final, judgment for that person. Like, okay, that person is a bad person, so they're gonna always be bad. Some people change. That's the problem with like first impression. Like you have a first impression, and they be like that first impression is what they always think of you, and that's not always true. Because I thought of people and had this impression of them, and they was really wrong. I had them pegged wrong or whatever. So I feel like you shouldn't just it shouldn't be the final judgment when you're like, oh, that's what I'm gonna always think of that person. People do change. That's my biggest concern. So when you first see a person and you judge them, just know that's not is more than meets the eye. It's more to it than meets the eye.
But would you say that first
Lena,
impressions are lasting impressions and important?
no. Even deeper. Let me ask you this, Lena.
Okay.
Right here. I think this is seal it. I do get what you where you're coming from, because you know what, me myself, as somebody who has definitely bust his ass to rehabilitate himself back into society. Even though yes, I have mentioned that I've done time, but I try my best not to like walk in that light. You know. But anyway, so I get you as far as not being looked at a certain way forever, but do you really have that energy for all categories? Now, the two that I have right here, would you say that same thing about the person, even though it was 40 years ago, they were known, they went to prison for raping children? Do you have that same energy for a person that was a serial deleter? You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is
No,
that
like,
for everything?
no, I understand, because I feel like, let's say a serial rapist or pedo or whatever.
Right.
I feel like, okay, yeah, they could be rehabilitated, but I still would never let them around kids. Like, no, I wouldn't like, okay, punish them forever, but like, okay, maybe they were messed up, they was high or something.
But what if they was passionate about being a teacher or like a little league rec or something, coach? So what I'm saying is, what if them not being, what if their occupation, because usually those people that have those charges, they're usually in some kind of field where kids are involved. So what if that was their passion? Do you feel, because look, I'm here right now, I do. Do you feel that they should never be able to have that type of position again?
Yes, they should never. They can teach adults.
Because we judge, you see, and it's for a reason.
But
you ain't saying nothing wrong. You ain't saying nothing wrong.
I'm like, well, you want to teach, you better teach adults.
So like, I would say, like, for example, a drug addict. Yeah, definitely. Yes, people can get over that, things of that nature. You know what I mean? A selfish person. People can, the story of Scrooge, the whole nine, yeah, things of that nature. But I'm just saying, I do believe there are a few spots, and I think we all know what those spots are, where not, that's the point of no return. Forever banished. Zero tolerance. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out, Gracie. What you got left?
So, speaking with more of this, judging is simply our attempt to create hierarchy of better than less, superior to inferior to, and to define worth to everybody, everything we deal with. We have the innate urge to be right, to be better, and to be superior always. So do you think that we judge sometimes and rip people up to make ourselves feel better?
Sometimes I feel like judging is a way to have boundaries and assess where your positions are. Like, I was thinking that's like with my cousin, I was like, oh, at least I ain't doing bad as she. I know that's wrong, but I be thinking that because I be like, man, I was fucking up for like a month or two, nobody know, but I kind of bounced back, and I'm proud of myself for bouncing back. And then also, like, her position with a man, like, damn, I know I've been like, I stayed with some dusty men and some questionable people, but when it get real far or too much, I have the strength to like go ahead and move on. Like, okay, you too toxic for me. I got a kid. I got my cousin Rosetta. I got a guardianship of disabled adults, so I can't have this in my house. So I am strong enough to go ahead and move on. She's not.
Okay, but at least seeing her and having your perception of her enables you to be like, hey, I don't want to be like her. I want to be better than her. So we can use judgment in a positive manner.
Yeah, it helps you assess. Yeah.
Exactly. What does judging a person really mean? To express a bad opinion of someone's behavior, often because you think you are better than them. Although judging others is normal, and even somewhat helpful, it can also be problematic. Judging others is a quick process, often based on superficial information. And it actually, being a judgmental person actually increases your strength, leading to a weakened immune system and causes high blood pressure. Who would have thunk it? Now think about it. Think about a person that you know well that is very, very judgmental. I have that person in my head, and they have a lot of health issues. And they think they're God's gift to this earth, and they think they can do no wrong. But you know what? At the end of the day, they have their own demons that they're fighting. But they're so busy pointing a finger at everybody else when they don't realize, look, there's 3 pointing back at you.
Right.
You know something, Grace? And I'm only saying this for educational purposes only.
Okay.
One time, and one time only, in my going on 41 years of living, have I ever seen my dad cry. And that one time was when he, real deal, like no one in the family has ever heard him do this. And he just really went into detail on the places where he fell short, or where at least he felt that way, where he went wrong. No need to go into details on anything. Just, him recognizing his flaws. Because my father is the type, I don't know if anybody remembers, I've mentioned it before. He's the type, he does not apologize or nothing. Like, even when he's, dad, you were wrong. You was wrong, Dad. You know what I mean? He will not apologize. So when he finally opened up like that, my point is, I'm talking about runny nose. I saw my father cry. And so my point is that what hit me more than anything was, I see why he stays away from that section in his mind. Because and me thinking about that, I think with a lot of people in society, I believe a lot of people in society really do stay away from really looking at themselves, because honestly, a lot of people really aren't ready to face themselves. Believe it or not, they're not really to face them demons. And I think that's why a lot of people, believe it or not, and it's not even giving them an excuse. It's just really a mental evaluation of me personally from observing this. People double down a lot because they really just don't want to face themselves, more so than the need to be right against you. I digress. My mic is muted.
I mean, you're absolutely right. So now let's talk about a couple examples, and you guys tell me what you think. Young man comes in, very good looking, smells good, hygiene tight, but his pants are down all the way below his waist. What would be your perception of that person as soon as you see them? Got jewelry. I mean, they popping, but they got them pants all the way down to half their ass. Lena, what would your perception of that person be if you saw them?
If I saw somebody, say it again, how would, if I
They
saw
would be
them?
dressed nice, fly, smelling good, that drip, hair done, braided nice. I mean, but they got their pants halfway down their waist. They speak nice, very articulate, even intelligent. But they got that one thing going on with them. What would your perception be of that person?
With the appearance, I would think he's young and he's walking into and he got braids and everything. I would think he was just young and he didn't know any better. How old would they be? I feel like he's young. He's too old to wear that type of stuff. He's an adult, huh?
In his 20s. Let's say in his 20s.
Yeah, I would think that something was up. I would think that he wasn't reached emotional maturity and uh, reached appearance. His immaturity on his level of dressing. Like you're supposed to wear a dress code here, or wear a tie here, or you're supposed to look presentable and dress
Absolutely.
accordingly. Yeah, but I would think if I seem like that, like if we were talking about, I would think, okay, I wanted to see that again. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Smitty, your turn now. You met somebody, they're smart, they're articulate, they got their drip, nice car, but they come out the car and their pants are sagging halfway down. What would be your perception of that?
You said 20.
In his 20s, yeah. I mean, we don't know the age because you're just seeing that person.
Nah,
I'm
but
just
see
saying
that
that
but that
matters.
has a lot to do with how I would answer. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because see what I had written down until like while you and Nina were I'm sorry, Lena was talking. Um uh I put down here definitely arrested development. But then you said he's in his 20s, and I said, oh shit. Okay. All right. So I would take that off. Because the fact is this, even in our 20s, man, like we still like it's quite a few little things and styles or whatever. I never was into that pants down the pants sagging. Never. But so first let me just answer it. In a nutshell, I would say definitely not tidy. It's not too many niggas I done come across that wear their pants off their ass and they keep their shit straight. Usually things around them are very disorganized. That's just my observation, right? So 9 times out of 10, the shit's all over the place with them. And also, too, more than likely, I'm going to look at that as it's kind of hard for me to look at you with leadership skills. I mean qualities, because we all know that the reason why you're doing that is because it's the fad. It's like the thing to do. And I'm not saying dress like a damn alien. I mean, come on now, like, we all want to coordinate, look fly, look nice, and things of that nature. But when you don't know how to objectively look and see clear as day, that's not the style like we want to be doing. You know what I mean? Like one, and then it's weird. Like if you want to take it to the streets, right? All these
Yeah.
dudes out here talking about they in the field and everything else. Well, first and foremost, you don't be in the fields with like slides on or any kind of like slippers or like, you don't do that. You don't know if you got to run. Then two, you don't have your pants around your ass, because if you got a haul, I've seen it many times. Police catch them simply because the pants fall. Like you not even like you out there, but you're not even like dressed for battle, if you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about being, so I mean, just all around the board, it's just definitely, to me, it's a very sloppy look. I don't rock with it, but I learned to leave these little young niggas alone. I don't say shit to them. I leave them alone, just whatever, just so long. Hey, look, as long as you greeting me or whatever, if we speaking and you respectful, whatever, if it's somewhere around the topic of what we may be talking about, I might slide it in and let you know about it by talking about it in a topic manner, not talking at you. I'm gonna have a discussion with you about it, not talk at you about it, because we all know that don't work. Yep. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out,
guys. The reason why I brought up that example, because I was having a business meeting with somebody when I had my company, my limousine company, and he was an up and coming owner operator just like me. And anybody like Smitty knows me. I'm a networker. I like to network with people, especially if you coming up too with me, we can grow together. And that was the impression he got out of a G5, was dressed nice, smelling nice, very articulate, very educated, but I couldn't get past the pants thing. Are you going to show up like that when we go to an important meeting or we go in for a bid? And so now if I had picked you to do work with you, now you're representing me. Was I harsh with the judgment? Probably. But there are certain businesses that perception is everything. I could lose a job just by him showing up the way he showed up. And people are not going to care that he smelled good, was well dressed, had drip, nice car. All they're going to remember about that young gentleman is that his pants were sagging. You see what I'm saying? So, and like Smitty was saying, sometimes being judgmental will help you out. And in that case, it did, because he was very difficult to work with. He was young. He wanted to be gangster, and you can't be in a limousine industry and trying to be gangster with coworkers and colleagues. So my perception of him, just that one thing, if he would have showed up in slacks and a shirt and tie, I would have definitely done work with him. But because of the persona that he presented himself to be, I was like, nah, you can't represent Lucky Limousine. I can't do that. you know, I have an image to uphold. When you have a limousine company, there are just certain criteria that you got to be on time. And being on time is late. I would always train my drivers and myself. We're there 15 minutes prior to pickup time. And we call the client when we're on our way. Because what if they need us to stop somewhere and pick something up? That's one way that I taught my drivers to earn tips. And we will always call the brides. Hey, this is your limo driver from Lucky Limousine. I'm on my way. Is there anything you need? Oh my God, thank you so much for calling. I got to run in my stock. You know, it's just like, come on, man. So I'm going to give you another example. And this just happened a few weeks ago. My dude calls me and he says to me, do all women use their bodies? Is that all they have to offer? And then I said, why? And he was like, because I just was coming out of the store. This half naked woman came at me and she got upset because I didn't give her no attention. And I said, okay, so why? I mean, besides that we're together, why didn't you give her any attention? And he was like, why would I be with a woman that I'm looking at her, you know what, before I even see her? So was he wrong? Was his perception wrong? I mean, he said that she was half naked. There was nothing left to the imagination. And you just out here at a convenience store walking around like that. So what is the perception of a man supposed to think of a woman dressed like that and then gets mad if she gets called a hoe? Is that wrong? Smitty, I'm going to start with you because you're the man in the group right now. And I'm sure that that's happened to you, women dressed half naked or half dressed. What would be your perception of them? You there?
Perception of women half dressed.
Yeah, I mean, they get mad if you call them a hoe or if you grab their wrist or be sexual with them.
What are you talking about? Didn't the chick walk up to Busta Rhymes and grab his ass? Yeah, I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
The way women dress right
now.
Oh,
you talking about, my bad. Oh,
it's
you
okay.
Talking about the way that they dress?
Yes.
How do I view that?
What would your judgment be of a woman? I just gave an example that my guy.
Is this like on a regular basis, or you not talking about like if they at the beach and it's like spring break type shit and they just chilling? You talking about like on a regular, they on that top shit?
Yeah.
Lack of discipline. Lack of discipline and definitely lack of respect. Because if you leave out and you're not showing that you have respect for your body, I damn sure, like I said earlier, not expecting too much from people. I don't expect you to have too much respect for me or too many other people that you come across. Unless it's people that's, probably flying you in on the bag or kissing your ass about something and agreeing with everything you say and do.
The
But other
word
than
that
that, that's
my
about it.
the word that my
I
guy
don't look too
used,
deep into them.
the word that my guy used was she's an attention seeker. She was seeking attention, and because I didn't give her the attention that she wanted, she turned around and cursed me out. Because she's so used to having that attention, and because I didn't pay her no mind, now I'm every name in the book. And it's crazy. How do you not expect? I've always said you're addressed on how you dress. Does that make sense? I mean, if you're dressed for the part and you come to an interview, I'm gonna dress you accordingly. Who's
Hey,
snoring?
hold on. Is she snoring? God
Leave
damn
it.
it, nigga.
Damn, are we that?
She done
Are we
nodded off on the show. It's all
are
good.
we
It's like,
that? Are we? Are we that boring?
sheesh.
Yo, we gotta clip this. We got.
Damn.
I'm done. I'm done. Let me. I
So,
should hold on. Let me do this. Let me do that.
yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, let's take a nap.
Oh,
But
that
what
was
were we
funny.
saying? Oh, okay, as far as like the dressing and stuff, right? That's what we were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is this, right? Like, depending on how you carry yourself out of the house, period, has a lot to do with 9 times out of 10 your upbringing, right?
Okay.
Like really, unless you just truly on some. I mean, because you do have those that are just like they just on some rebellious shit. I mean, that does happen. Come from a wonderful 2-family household and they just rebellious. That time to time, but we don't talk about the anomalies. Women coming out the house dressed that way, honestly, like if it's not for a purpose, like if that's just you, yeah, definitely that's attention seeking. But the thing is this, what kind of attention are you attracting? So then what happens, right? You get the snowball effect of you keep attracting the wrong type of attention / wrong type of guys. Then that's how we get the whole scenario, all men ain't shit.
But
It all started with you. It started right before it started while you was getting dressed, when you thought, when you was looking in the mirror and said you slaying. It started there. So now over time, but what do you think the results are going to be? If I keep on going out the house dressed as a full-fledged police officer, eventually I'm going to get arrested for police fraud.
Impersonating a police officer.
Yeah, impersonation. There we go. Yeah. Impersonation, impersonating the officer. Eventually. Not to mention along the way, I can't be getting an attitude when everybody keep coming up to me talking about some, can you get my boyfriend? He did whatever, and I'm looking at them crazy. Why would I look at you like you crazy? I'm dressed as an officer. It says Officer Smitty, badge number 0782, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But here it is. I'm in full-fledged gear, belt, taser, 9mm, the whole 9, vest and everything. But I'm getting upset with people because they keep coming up to me. Or if people say, F you, pig, 12, what? Nah, man, I'm just trying to buy some weed. Man, I ain't selling you no weed, officer. What are you talking about, man? Stop saying that. Man, this is how I feel today. I just want to dress like this.
Yeah.
Sound crazy.
But people will be saying that you're judging a book by its cover and you're being too judgmental. And this is the whole point. This is the meat of the sandwich, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it's being judgmental. Yes, it's judging a book by its cover. But what do you expect? What do you I mean, let me tell you something that I used to practice when I was a store manager at my restaurant. If you asked me for a pen to fill out the application, you're off the list. I wouldn't hire you. I wouldn't. Maybe that seemed kind of harsh.
Not prepared.
Exactly. How you gonna come and ask the store manager for a pen to fill out the application. You should have already been ready, so you didn't have to get ready. That's already showing me. So it left I mean, it worked for me because I have very high retention and low turnover. I was right. And then I would see what time you would come in for your interview. If your interview was at 9 o'clock and you walking in at 8:58, yeah, I'm looking at you sideways, because that
When
is
you're
gonna,
early, you're on time, and when you're on time, you're late.
and that let me know that also this is a person that's always just gonna just make it to work. You know, and I can't take that chance. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's just McDonald's, but you know what? I took pride in my job. I really did. Now, sometimes I will make your ass wait. I mean, if I was busy, morning breakfast, because I would be the only one doing the interview. Yes, I was a control freak. I did the interviews, hired, fired, all of that, training. And sometimes you would have to wait 15, 20 minutes. But what I would do is I would turn around and send somebody coffee to them, ask them if they want some breakfast. And if I see that they chilled and they're looking at the operation, trying to see how we run things, okay, this person is interested. They want to work. They waited.
Can I say something? Oh, my bad.
Sure. No, go ahead.
No, my bad. I think it paused on my side. The number one thing I remember my father telling me, I don't know, maybe you as somebody who's been a part of the hiring process can concur. He said, Mike, whenever you get done, right, and when the person who's interviewing you asks you, do you have any questions? Ask something. Ask them, how long have you been doing this? How did you get to where you are, whatever? And he said, damn sure don't let the question be, when do we get paid and how long is lunch break?
And
don't
how much
ask
do
about,
I get jail?
Right. Don't ask about the fun or late, you know what I'm saying? So he said, think of something. He said, think about what type of place it is. And he said, whoever's interviewing you, think of something and ask them a question to show your interest. And more than anything, if you can, try to ask them something about themselves in this job.
Yeah.
I digress. My mic is muted.
You're getting, that shows me, one, you're interested in keeping the conversation. You're interested in learning either about the business or me, and it keeps me engaged with you. So you're absolutely right. And yes, please don't ask what the pay is. You'll get all that in the offer letter if you get hired. You know, I know a lot of people want to know right away up front, and a lot of employers do tell you up front what the pay is. And you do have the right to negotiate, but not at the initial, you know, because you go through a various of interviews. It's just not one. The present job that I have right now, I went through 4 interviews. It was tedious, but that's how it is. So Smitty, a lot of times as humans and people, we tend to say things like, things aren't always what they seem. Looks aren't everything. Beauty is only skin deep. What really matters is invisible to the eyes. How true is all that? How much of that is bullshit? For real.
I apologize to Grace. Ask that question one more time. Forgive me.
A lot of times we tend to say things like, things aren't always what they seem. Looks aren't everything. Beauty is only skin deep. What really matters is it should be invisible to the eyes. You know, this is the person trying to convince you, you know, she might have a nice personality, but you know she fugly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what do we say to that? Do we judge her because she's fugly, or do we try to get to know her? Beauty's only skin deep. People know.
Are you talking about in a possible intimate relationship, or are you talking about just to know the person?
Well, to know the person, to become in an intimate relationship.
Well, I don't agree with um I don't agree with looking past that. The fact is this: from nature, whether it's like the peacock or whatever you want to say, a lion's mane and everything else, there are many examples. My point is that looks do matter, and
Mhm.
you being attracted. Now, everything don't have to be perfect, right? Like me, I generally like I go for slightly taller women. But if you a little shorter, but things are right, and especially you pleasant and wonderful to be around, but I promise you that that's not something that's gonna hold it up. But my point is, looks do matter because why would you want to be with someone that you're really not that attracted to? Get everything all built up. You guys are actually now really like you probably met each other's families. Lord forbid kids come out of it and everything else. Then what happens? You wound up cheating or something. Why? Because or your partner notices how you really don't be into it when it comes to the bedroom, and you really kind of be, so now you getting a whole bunch of, so who you sleeping with, because you're not really giving it to her like that, and she knows it, or him, either way. So the looks, nah, nah, man. Nah. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, correct. But you damn sure have to be holding that in my eyes if I'm gonna hold you in my arms.
I know
I
that's.
digress, my mic
Ooh,
is muted.
no, wait. Say that again for the people in the back. When say that again.
I said if beauty is in the eye of the beholders, then you have to behold that within my eyes if I'm gonna hold you in my arms. I'm not yet.
Ooh, that's some gems, ladies and gentlemen, coming from Smitty's
Respectfully.
corner. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. So, with that being said, person's perception refers to the different mental process that we as humans use to form impression, but with different conclusions we make of other people based on our impressions. A person's perception is a very subjective process that can be affected by a number of different variables. Factors that can influence the impression or judgment you form for other people include the characteristics of the person you are observing, the context of the situation, your own personal traits, and your past experiences. Physical can also can also play in a very important role, and that's something that women need to understand. Men are very, very, very visual creatures by nature. It's not them being shallow, it's them being men. That's who they are. They're
Even women, because like I said, this is why
yeah.
I give a lot of nature analogies, but like for example, in nature generally the males are the most colorful, like the cardinals, the bright red one, that's the male, the dullish brown one, that's the female, peacocks, so on and so forth, right? So my point is, the reason why they are is so that they can be visually pleasing in order to get their mate. That is a
Mhm.
part of it. Before we even get to the lay down and everything else, the fact is that if I'm not attracted to you, honestly, I look, you gonna be thinking I got what's that, ED, rectile, this one. You gonna think I got that. Why you can't get it up? Because I don't like what I see. It got
You're
nothing to
not,
do with nothing else. You not doing it. You not hitting on nothing.
there's no chemistry, there's no physical attraction. I want to roll over and be able to look at you when I wake first thing in the morning. Okay, your breath might stink, you might have eye boogers in your eye, but I'm like, wow, my baby look good. You know what I'm saying? And
Not with the eye
it's
booger, Grace. Nah, nah.
yeah, yep.
Nah, you
Like
Gucci. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
there's just okay, I get made fun of a lot, by our boy Blue, that because I'm so short, I shouldn't be so hung up on the height of a man I choose. I
Right.
can't help it. I try. I really genuinely try. I
Grace,
try to
you can afford that bill. You can't afford that bill.
I tried 5'8", 5'9", and I couldn't. I mean, I didn't feel comfortable. He
What do you
was
mean
good.
try?
I
Like,
I went
I don't
I went
understand.
out. I
So
went
hold
out
on,
with
let me ask you a
somebody.
question. Let me ask you a question. So no matter how, let's say, maybe successful, well respected in his community and everything else, if that man is not a certain height, you don't feel safe with him. So say he is like 5'7", 5'8", but like he's well respected in his neighborhood, and he definitely, of course, he ain't the richest man, but his money's right, everything else is there. But you just so you telling me, you, because I understand what they say, like they don't feel safe. So you don't feel safe?
I disqualify him because one, I don't feel
Damn.
safe. I don't feel safe. I feel like we're uneven, because I am a big girl. So if I'm with somebody that's 5'7", 5'8", I'm looking like
Grace,
real
how
humpy.
tall are you, Grace? Gracie,
Huh?
how tall are you? How tall are you, Gracie?
I'm 5 feet.
5 feet. And
My ex
5'8" doesn't make you feel safe. That's too short.
When you've been dating tall men all your
Okay.
life, my ex-husband is 6'9". Your boy said in the back, damn.
You should have been on that daggone Maury show when opposites attract.
And then I cut it down. I'm like, okay, 5'10". So 5'10" is the minimum requirement for this ride. I can't. I tried, Smitty. I tried. So there's just some
I'm just saying, you are eliminating your option choices. I don't have nothing. Me ain't got nothing to do with that.
But the
You're
thing is,
eliminating your options.
I've never had a problem with options because usually tall guys like that like short girls. So it was never an issue. That's why I've always dated tall guys, because tall guys would seek me because I was so short. But then I said, you know what? Let me stop being so stubborn. Let me stop being so shallow. I may be missing out on something good because the guy is challengingly heightened. And I tried, and I really did, and it didn't sit well with me, and I can admit it. I can admit it, and it's now I don't look at a person's finances. I don't, it's the height thing. That's my thing that I can't, after all these years. I've been on this earth for 48 years, and ever since high school, it was always tall. It is what it is, Smitty. That's a deal breaker for me. Is it wrong?
I understand that. I understand that. But Gracie, I just, I'm having a hard time with you. Now listen. I understand how Blue getting on you and stuff, but I'm gonna be real with you. I'm kind of not. I get it now. That is, man. If a dude is like 5'9", but he is thorough, everything is all in place. You said you don't. I'm trying to figure out, and then you said we're uneven. Grace, you be at 5 feet, your man 6'9". There's nothing even about that in any form of fashion. You hugging his knees.
Well, my forehead was to his belly button.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do that tall anymore because I'm older and my neck kind of hurts and I get a crank. But
I got you.
5'10" and up. I cut it down to 5'10". Would I go on a date somebody that's 5'8", 5'9" to at least give them the opportunity?
That's the average man's height.
I know, but I have never had to date the average man's height. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, respect. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Nah, like, hey, I tell them all the time, I'm just listening because I care about you. So I'm just letting you know, like, man, how many, like, that's a lot of options gone.
But what I'm trying to tell you is because of my height and my shortness, tall men naturally
How tall?
navigate.
How tall is your man now?
He is 6'2".
You terrible. You terrible.
You see? You see?
You terrible, man.
So when they call me shorty, it's literally, what's up, shorty? I mean, he's 6'2".
Subconsciously. What I want to know subconsciously. I want to know subconsciously because it has to be. Was your father real tall?
No.
Okay,
He
all right.
was,
So it was not that. All right. Because it has to be something. Generally, a lot of things like that, you know, it is something subconscious, but I don't even mean like in a bad way or nothing. Just it has to be something that I don't know.
Kevin Samuels fucking called me out on it. Not personally, but on a show.
I know what you're saying.
It's because I'm a big girl. And if I'm with a 5'8" scrawny little guy, not only do we all look, you know.
Why it gotta be scrawny because he's 5'8"?
But how
It's some big dudes that's 5'8".
How you gonna protect me? I just didn't feel safe. It didn't feel secure. Now, if I'm with somebody 5'10", 6'1", 6'2", I'm looking up at him, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, he got me. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta get this right. we gotta get this right, Gracie. Okay, all right. I'm just saying, cause all right. So, wait, boom. You wouldn't feel safe with Kevin Hart?
Yeah, because he got bodyguards.
Damn, no, Gracie. We ain't gonna work it like that. We not doing that. We're not doing that, Gracie. We're not doing that. You and Kevin Hart, y'all out. Do you feel safe?
No.
Wow.
What he gonna do? Hit him in the pinky toe? I mean, I'm gonna have to help him fight.
You really think because a dude is not tall that he can't fight? Do you know how tall Mike Tyson was? 5'8", 5'9". He was not tall. Tyson is not tall. I'm taller than Tyson. I'm 6 feet. I'm taller than him. Tyson was like 5'8", 5'9". Come on now.
I can only go by what I've lived in these 48 marvelous
I'm
years.
I'm just trying to speak up for all my short brothers out there, man. You know, who wish they was a little bit taller and wish they was a baller, right?
Hey, that was my song. You know, when you go out and you dribbling before basketball, we made a mixtape, and that was my part. I wish I was a little bit taller, baller, but no.
Hey, you crazy. But I'm just saying, like, all right. I mean, hey, look.
You're right. I might have missed out on some great dudes because.
No. Ain't no Mike. We're not going to do that, Grace. You definitely, I will say, have. If that's the only thing that disqualified them. Oh, yeah, you definitely have. It ain't no Mike about it. But what I'm saying is this. At what point, like, and I'm just asking you, it's not even like grilling you or nothing, you know what I'm saying? You know that's right. Listen, what I'm trying to figure out is when we get to a certain age, does the whole like my 100% everything on the outside have to be?
No, because
like at what age would you say that we should put that shit aside and really go for the quality of that person?
I mean, I don't really think that's ever going to leave us because we are, as humans,
right,
initially physically attracted first. Physical attraction always comes first. You see a girl across the bar, you like her because of what you saw first, right? And then as soon as you go over there and she opens her mouth, you be like, damn, never mind.
Let me ask you this, Grace. Is confidence to women in a man attractive?
Yes, absolutely. But don't.
Is that a physical trait?
No, that's a learned behavior. But a lot of people confuse confidence with arrogance. And they're not being arrogant. A lot of women confuse a man's confidence to arrogance because they're not used to a man being confident and setting boundaries and setting standards. A lot of women feel that men should just take me as I am, fuck it, love me or leave me alone. No, men have a right to have boundaries. So now when they are hit with the wall, I'm not putting up with this. Oh, well, you're arrogant. You think you God's gift to this earth. You think you all of that.
Right.
Yeah, I am. And, you know, my dude tells me now, I don't deal with shenanigans. And when I bring him shenanigans, he will respectfully tell me, we'll talk later. Get yourself together and we'll talk later. And I have, and you know, but he doesn't yell. He doesn't curse me out. You see what I'm saying? It's all in the approach with me. He knows how to, I don't want to use the word handle. He knows what I respond to and what I don't respond to. And that's why we tend to do well, you know, and women confidence is sexy on a man. When a man walks into a room confident, dressed nice, smelling good, working the room. Oh, yeah.
Okay. What about discipline? Is that attractive? A disciplined man?
What kind of I mean, dick discipline, money discipline, financial discipline, or just discipline?
Generally, if a man is dick disciplined, he's usually probably financially disciplined. You look, discipline usually kind of like you're just kind of overall. Of course, we have our things like, you know, we fall, you know, short on, you know, we all have our things. We have our addictions, we have our lust and all this other stuff, but it's about control more than anything.
Discipline is also a sexy trait on a man, but we as
women, is that a physical trait?
No, that's also a learned trait. That's also a learned behavior. To be disciplined takes discipline. You have to learn to be disciplined. Like, I know I tend to be a procrastinator sometimes, but I also know that I do my best work. I do my best work when my back is against the wall. You know, I do my best work when I'm under pressure. But yeah, confidence, discipline, a man setting boundaries, it's a sexy thing with a man. But a lot of women are just not used to that. But thanks to Kevin Samuels and a lot of other podcasters, they're opening up the eyes of men and letting them know, hey, you don't have to put up. When Kevin Samuels talked about men, y'all need to learn how to walk.
No, my charger. Thanks. No, you good. No, because my phone's down and I didn't want to go nowhere. I need to plug it in. Listen. All right. So, and last but not least, Gracie, financially secure, you know, does have some financial freedom. Is that also attractive, would you say, to women in a man?
Yeah, it's attractive to a woman because it represents security and stability.
Right.
But not to the point where you would disqualify them, because if he's still young and he's on his purpose and he's building, then join him and help build with him. I just saw a short before we started this show that the lady wouldn't get out the car because the man took her to the Cheesecake Factory. I'm not going.
Yeah. I didn't look at it because just the headline was too retarded. Sometimes I can't do it. But my point is this. This is what I was getting to. So with all of those things I just named, right, that we just went over, all right, the confidence, the discipline, financially secure. So you're telling me that one thing like a physical attribute, as far as like, I ain't talking about like your actual looks, you know, I mean, you know, come on, you know what I'm saying? But like, you're telling me that would erase. Just sit on it. Just sit on it for the night. Just
there's nothing to sit on. Because, like I said, in 48 years of my whole life, all I've dated was tall men. So I wouldn't even know how to act around a shorter man. I mean, you know, I just don't. And then I'm not saying all. To all my short brothers out there, please, I'm not dissing y'all. But
how do you turn them down? This is what I want to know. Okay. So, I'm 5'5", all right, and I'm feeling myself today, all right. We're at the bar, And I come up and I approach you, and I'm very respectful. I don't say nothing stupid out my mouth. I don't feel like role playing, right? I don't say nothing dumb out my mouth. And I'm clean. I smell good and everything. How do you turn me down?
I tell him I got a man. I'm in a relationship. I just deflect.
You just keep it simple. Okay. So the reason why I was saying, because when you said I wouldn't even know how to act, I was just wondering. So like, do you like carry them? You don't be carrying them, right?
What do you mean carrying them?
Oh, my bad. That's what we say. Like carrying them, like disrespect them, like
No.
Be disrespectful. Right.
No. First of all, you know me. I don't disrespect men. Even if you did,
Got you.
If you disrespect me, like I have a famous saying: if a man calls me the B word in anger,
right,
I clap back. I said, if I'm a B, your mama a B. That's the most disrespectful thing I would say to a man. But I naturally are not disrespectful to men. I consider their feelings, because I already knew that it took a lot for them to come talk to me, and I respect that, because a man try to holler at me, I'm like, he's a go-getter. He saw what he liked and he went for it. But I let them down gently. I either say I got a man, or I'm here with somebody, or like I use my male best friend. I use him a lot when we go out. Oh, I'm here with my brother. I'm here with somebody. And then I'll give him a sign that we have. And if I'm not interested in the guy that's trying to talk to me, he'll come in. He's a great wingman. He'll come and break that whole thing up and dissipate it. And he knows about my short issue. So if he sees a guy, trying to talk to me and he's not, he'll come and here, babe, here's your drink. I got you. So no, I'm not disrespectful. I don't carry them. I don't believe in that, because at the end of the day, women need men. And even the short ones, the ugly ones, broke ones, they're going to be the ones that are going to protect us in the long run.
Does it have anything to do with the possibility of procreation? You're like, nah, I don't want no short ass kid. Be honest, Gracie.
No, it has to do with, I'm going to tell you, like I said, Kevin Samuels broke it down. You big bitches like tall men because you don't want to look as big as you are next to a short man.
That does sound like how he will say it too.
Because I was shocked that he figured it out. Nobody, like, you see how you're asking me and you're trying to find out? That's the true reason. I feel even bigger if I'm next to a short guy, whereas if I'm somebody 6 feet tall.
I see what you're saying.
Even now,
the problem that I run into? It's so funny you say that. You know the problem I run into? So my average weight, all right, so I'm 6 feet. Average weight is somewhere around 178, right? Lean muscle. I'm not no bony guy. I'm just lean, like Bruce Lee, I'm lean muscle. And I've heard nowadays so many women who be trying to say like, oh, I like me a bigger dude. I need you to have like the Gucci belly or be like Drake. And then you know what? I've been sitting on this for a minute. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it tonight. I'm gonna say it tonight, Gracie. What it is that, just like how kind of what you were saying, you don't want to be with somebody like myself necessarily. This ain't all women. This is that group. You don't want to be with a dude that's actually really fit, and you don't look so fit, because when we go out, something ain't right there.
It's unequally yoked.
And 9 times out of 10, me being a certain size, they probably know and they can see it. You keep yourself healthy. So they probably want to get with somebody who don't see himself, because that way, like, I want to get with him because he looks like he ain't going to have no real standards for me on keeping my weight up. Down and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, he ain't going to care if I'm just eating whatever, whenever, and just being fat about shit.
Yep. I had a vegan man
So they try to make me feel bad for being the same weight and everything else since I've been about 20, 25 years old or so.
No, because They know that you're going to keep them to a certain standards and a certain criteria, and they don't want to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you see the hot trainer that dates the overweight chick, and people are like, I can't believe they're dating. Why, what
Right.
does he see in her? Because he does that every day. That's his life. He's a trainer. He likes what he likes. But some trainers won't do that. Most trainers would date another trainer, and they train together, and their physique together, and they
Well,
look the
because the
same.
lifestyle is compatible. It's almost like how usually most
Exactly.
entertainers date other entertainers. It's just really kind of a, we understand each other's lifestyle and everything else. I ain't got to explain a whole bunch of stuff because you don't get what's going on here. So a lot of times, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a safe way to move. There's nothing
I
wrong with
had
moving safe.
I had a vegan turn me down. We was talking, and he was telling me that he's vegan, and then he asked me, so will you be willing to stop eating meat? And I said no. He was like, well, then we
Right.
can't go any further with this. And I had to
I had a
respect
chick
that,
do the
Smitty.
same thing. I had a chick do the same thing to me. I was wondering why, like we were talking and stuff. So I was telling her what I would cook for her. Mind you, I had no clue that she was a vegan, not even vegetarian, vegan, right? I had no clue. So all of a sudden she said, so what you gonna make me? So I was like, oh yeah, man, no problem. So I was thinking maybe, I'll do like because I do know how to make a real good chicken cordon bleu. I was like, I can make a cordon bleu. Yeah. Oh yeah. I got that. Um, and then I said, I'll go ahead and make some asparagus if you want, or whichever vegetable. I said, I got asparagus, I got broccoli, I got cabbage here. So whichever one you want me to steam up, I'll go ahead and slide that in there and get it together. Right. And then you can have your choice of a side, whether rice, mashed potatoes, whatever. So boom. Next thing you know, and now mind you, she said, oh, okay, that sounds nice. Then we got finished talking. Everything was fine. I tried to call her the next day. I realized I'm blocked. Finally, I get a chance to talk to her a little bit like down the line, like some months down the line. And then I happened to ask, I was like, I'm just curious. I just want to know, like, what happened? Like, if it was another dude or something, like, you could tell me ain't nothing wrong with that. People, we move on. Ain't no hard feelings. She said, no, actually, you're actually really a lovely guy. And everything that I was hearing about you was so amazing. But when I asked you what you would make me for dinner, you said chicken. And she said, I don't eat meat. And she said, because now, yeah. And literally, like, she just blocked me and just rolled out.
Wow, but she could at
Yeah,
least
it
let you
real
know. She could at least.
no. Oh no, they don't do that. Oh no. That's called communication. No. That's some old shit. That's called communication. That's back in the day. That's not what they do now. Now they just ghost you or block you and just don't explain nothing. So the main reason why a lot of times that really bothers me personally is because I actually want to know the reason so that whatever it may be, I can check myself.
So we can do better the next time.
Yeah, man. Like
I'm
I
the
just want to
same
know.
way.
So like what was it? Oh, okay, man. Just please tell me so I can know. Maybe I bet you know what? Then shoot, let me sit back on that. I'm not about to be sitting up here arguing with you. Nah, bump that. How dare you say? Nah, I want to know so I can check me. But if I don't never get no feedback, I don't know where I'm messing up at. Don't nobody ever say that.
Not only that, Smitty, we like closure.
I need
an exit interview. What did I do wrong? What caused you to, stray? And what can I do better? And I'm the exact same way. And a lot of people, I think you just gave me the idea for the next week's show. What does it mean to ghosting? Because a lot of people don't know what it is and don't realize that they're being ghosted. So maybe we need to put it out there and let people know about it. But
like see what happens when you around Smitty long enough? Ideas come in your head.
I know, right? But this was a really good conversation and a good topic because as humans, we do tend to be very judgmental. We do seem to come off of our perceptions of what we see without really getting to know the content of the character of somebody. But it's human nature. Even in the animal kingdom, the female, like you were asking me, was it a mating situation? Maybe subconsciously it is because I love the fact that my son is 17 years old and he's 6'4". You know, he got that height gene. He didn't get it from me. His dad did all
You
that.
you happy? I know. The day that he passed you, you was like, yes.
Oh,
I know you happy.
he passed me when he was in the 6th grade.
No,
Remember,
that sounds about right. If he's 17, yeah, no, that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
he's not gonna be the 6'9" like his dad because I'm involved in the picture. So
You don't know.
the doctor said about 6'6", 6'7".
You know what's crazy? Gracie? My father is about 5'10" and a half. My mother is, I believe, she might be about 5'5" or something like that. I'm 6 feet. I'm taller than both my parents.
What about
My
your
dad. I'm taller
What
than my
about your
dad.
grandfather? What about
Yeah,
your grandfather?
yeah. Granddad was 6'1".
There you go. That's where you got it. It skipped a generation and you got it. How tall is your daughter?
So her mother is like you. She like got you by like 2, and I think her mother's like 5'2", 5'3", right? I'm 6 feet. I already see it. I told Phoenix, I said, you're going to be a little bit taller than your mother, but you're still going to be shorter than your father. You're going to be right in the middle. Because she always asks, she actually, is funny you say that, because she really she be asking me, am I going to be short? I'm like, why are you so concerned about that? But whatever. Okay. I said, no. I said, Phoenix, I said 9 times out of 10 from what I'm saying, baby girl, you're going to be, at the end of it, she's probably going to come up to maybe like my chin or something. Her mother comes up to my chest.
All you got to do is the next time she goes for her well visit at the doctors can figure it out because they have that little chart in the computer now and they can tell, you know what I'm saying, and they'll let
projection. They can do a projection.
That's why they told me Jordan would be at least 6'6" or 6'7". He won't be any taller than that, unless he be chilling with Jack the Beanstalk. But look at
Hey, nah, you know what's crazy? Did you see that thing with the dude that paid like I think about $80,000 to go from 5'5" to 6 feet? He had some surgery done. Yeah, no, it's real. Yeah, it's a black. Yeah, he had surgery done. It's weird. It's weird. Because see, the thing is this, right? Your body is generally designed to where, like your torso. So if you're a certain height, like Gracie, with your torso, if all of a sudden you became 6 feet, you would look weird. Your body would be real small. And
it doesn't match your
It don't. It's not. Yeah, it's not adding up. So he's 6 feet now, but he looks like a Stretch Armstrong.
Look at Lena. She must have woke up. She said, "I'm so sorry, Grace."
Oh,
girl.
Go get some tea, Lena. Tea or coffee or hot cocoa, whichever one you like. Get a hot beverage.
It's okay, Mama. It happens, okay? It happens. I thought you had fell asleep because me and Smitty bored your ass. I'm like, damn, were we that boring? But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up, Smitty, because I want to go support our boy Soapbox. I know he's on, and so with that being said, what are your final thoughts about our conversation, judging a book by its cover, and how we perceive things?
Well, one, I mean, honestly, I would say this was actually good topic, great discussion. This is, very thought-provoking, something, to look back on, and, so I like this right here. But as far as like judging a book by its cover and everything, the fact is that you have to know in some category, I'm going to keep saying it, discernment. Why? Because the discernment comes into play as far as knowing when to use, be like to judge and all of that, and what ways to judge it. You don't judge everyone and everything the same way. So basically all I'm saying is you got to know how to read the room. All right, know how to read the room. And other than that, no, I'm gonna tell people all day, yep, keep on profiling, keep on judging. Why? Because 9 times it's better to do that to be safe than to be sorry. I'm talking about judge as far as on a safety tip, not as far as discriminating on people. But I digress. My mic is muted. I'll see you later, Grace.
All right. I'll see you later. I'll probably see you in Soapbox chat room. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe so. I got my buddy over here and stuff too. So yeah, I'll go over and check them out as well. But other than that, yeah, you can catch me over here with Gracie on Thursdays. You can catch me at Smitty's Corner if you want to. And other than that, anywhere where it's peace and solitude is where you'll find Smitty. I digress. My mic is muted. Gracie, I'll talk to you later, love.
Thank you, Smitty. I appreciate you. You take care.
You know it.
All right, guys. So to not judge, or you will be judged. That's God's way. For the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. So remember that. We judge others on their appearance, how they dress, the way of talk, and their education. Just remember that when you judge others, it does not define them. It defines you. This is from the great man, Earl Nightingale. Again, I'm going to repeat it. When you judge others, you do not define them. You define yourself. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody that came out. And don't forget to press the like button, subscribe, and share. Support the channel. # Embrace the Grace 23. You can find me here every Thursday night on the JVJ Network. You can find me in Smitty's Corner. I'm all over the place: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat. My email is in my bio. You want to shoot me some content, some ideas, anything. I'm open to it. I'm very accessible, and I do it because the fact that you've embraced me, I will turn around and embrace you. So with that being said, guys, have a good night. See y'all next Thursday. I'm going to be dropping some shorts. And I do, guys, want to let you know that the month of November, I'm going all out. It's a celebration for men. Every week, we're having a serious topic that directly affiliates with men and what they go through. So tune in for the month of November, because I'm going in. I'm going in on you, ladies, and I'm letting you know how men suffer in silence and what they go through. Because November is Men's Month, and we need to uplift our men, and we need to appreciate them more, and we need to value them. Because let me tell you, ladies, all them degrees and that big mansion you got and that fancy car ain't gonna do nothing for you when it really go down. So with that being said, y'all have a good night. And thank y'all for coming out. I really do appreciate it. So don't forget to tune in every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And with that being said, hold on one second. Here we go. Thank you for coming.
Perfect.